R&K Hunting Company has been just an amazing outfit that's really helped me plan a bunch of these veteran hunts over the years. I asked them if I could bring Mark Osgeist, who is a former veteran, contractor, patriot, first responder, and just an all-around warrior.
Hey, gorgeous.
How are you?
Good.
Oh, it's so good to see you.
Yes.
How long of a drive did you have?
About 7.5.
Oh, that's about us saying same as ours. Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't it beautiful country?
Oh, I know. I love it.
We're gonna have so much fun.
I think so. I think it's gonna be great, guys.
It is.
I'm looking forward to it.
It is. Oh, I'm so glad you're here.
I met Oz through some mutual friends in the hunting industry, and Oz was a member of the Annex security team that fought in the Battle of Benghazi on September 11th, 2012. Oz and his team were credited with saving the lives of over 25 Americans that fateful night in Benghazi. Right now, more than ever before in our country, these stories need to be heard.
Doesn't get any better than this right here.
Just drop this ball. Being with guys like you has just made my life so much richer. Thank you.
Our responsibility as citizens is to make their sacrifice worth it and live our lives that way.
I can't feel my toes.
Neither can I. It's okay.
This is awesome, man.
When I'm out in nature, it helps me just become me again.
I'm a little scrapper too.
We didn't do it because we were hating those guys in front of us. We were doing it because we loved those guys beside us.
I was the only person to ever step on an IED that size and live.
Their stories have literally changed my life.
My name is Mark Geist. Some of you might know me as Oz. I was in the Marine Corps from 84 to 96, served all over the Far East. After that, I became a police officer in Colorado. On September 11, 2012, I was in Benghazi. I worked for the CIA with a group called GRS. It's Global Response Staff, and our job was to protect CIA case officers in some of the worst places in the world. You know, that night, I got a call on my cell phone from Tyrone Woods. He just said that you need to get back to the annex. There's something going on at the consulate. The rest of the team had gotten ready to leave and had headed over to the consulate after being told to stand down.
Stand down!
The last time was when they heard the team leader from the State Department come over the radio and he said,
If you do not get here soon, we are all gonna die.
Morning. I like what you said. It's a great day to be alive.
This is seriously jaw-dropping. It's so pretty in here, all the colors, and then the snow-capped peaks behind. It's so pretty.
It's really nice.
What's a buck tank?
Yeah, exactly. Right now. Oh, you know, this is God's country. Growing up doing this kind of stuff that, you know, so many guys that have been in the community, this is where they kind of cut their teeth on the skills that take them into the military. And, you know, you can't ask for a better place to do that. I mean, I think back growing up, that's where, you know, you learn the discipline in hunting that carries on in so many different other aspects of life.
Well, we got to our location we were last night, and the herd came through, but there's only a couple of spikes and a little raghorn. No big bull. So we're gonna beat feed it up and around the mountain, get up top, and hopefully cut off. Maybe that different herd went through with that big bull earlier.
When they showed up there, they were confronted with about 40 armed insurgents who had taken over the consulate, set all the buildings on fire. The ambassador and Sean Smith couldn't be located, and the decision had to be made to either stay there or fall back to the annex where we knew we could defend. When I was on the rooftop before the team got back was probably the only time that I was really had any real fear, and that was just fear of not being able to protect the people that I was tasked with protecting. Within 30 minutes, we had 20-odd insurgents attacking us from our northeastern flank through Zombieland. That first attack lasted about 10-15 minutes. About an hour later came, and this time they came back at us with approximately 40 armed insurgents.
Are we expecting any friendlies?
I am not aware of any friendlies.
We were just talking, and under my breath, I just said, "Let them come."
Let them come.
You know, they were going to come at us no matter what. Bring it on. If we're going to have a fight, we're going to have a fight.
You know, if we make a shot over 300 yards in this, it'll be epic.
So we found a really good sniper ridge lookout point. A creek that drainage, it comes down here, one over there. The elk could be either spot. We're right in the middle. So up on top of the ridge, we've got like a 50-mile-an-hour wind. It's pretty rough. They come down over here, this hill's blocking the wind. So I like our chances.
Sitting here for a couple hours, then the wind's still pretty howling. It's coming and going. We've seen 2 cows come through the bottom, and that's it. Rick's right over the edge glassing this hill, and he did see a bunch of elk move through the timber and going the opposite way, but he couldn't see a bull. We also heard a bugle not long ago just up over these pines. So we're just hoping that they're going to come feeding out through here pretty soon.
We were finding elk, we just weren't seeing any of the bigger bulls, but we knew this is R&K and it's just a matter of time. I've hunted a lot of times with R&K hunting, both in their Wyoming and Utah camps, and R&K has it down right. The accommodations are as nice as I've ever seen, incredible food, and the terrain is spectacular at every place they have. And we know the elk are there because I've hunted there before. It's just putting in the time and locating them.
You know, we moved down a little bit, probably about 150 yards over on the crest of this knob behind us. Gives us a great view of this open area down here where there's that water. Also gives us a good view of everything coming across the face of that other hill. And it kind of opens up over here in those trees, gives us a better chance if they are up in there to get a shot.
Okay, so I slipped over the top of this knob and took a peek down into the bottom. I seen a herd coming. They're coming right up the ridge that we're looking at.
It's so great to see 3 calves. We need that young recruitment, you know, to make a healthy herd.
Glenn's team arrived early in the morning, probably around 4:30, 4:45. It was kind of a lull in everything, and we had just been talking about our kids, and I'd leaned over and said, you know, if the attack's gonna come, it's gonna come in the next 30 minutes. And immediately after call for prayer went off, an RPG hit the back wall. Belt-fed machine guns opened up, small arms opened up. Ty opened up, I opened up. Glenn had started moving to get into a better position, and that's when the first mortar hit. When it went off, it kind of knocked me back, and as I stood back up, I noticed Ty in a fetal position, and I brought my left arm up about 6 inches up from the wrist. It was kind of hanging off at about a 90-degree angle, and so I just tried to bring my other arm up, and I was swinging my arm to grab my weapon and just began firing, and that's when the next mortar hit. And when it hit, I had looked over my shoulder, I saw Glenn go down. turned back to start firing again, and that's when the third mortar hit. At that point, I kind of dove to cover because I knew if another one come, I probably wouldn't survive through it, and everything went quiet. Kind of got distracted. I crawled over to Ty to check if he had a pulse, and he didn't have a pulse, so I sat back up, and that's when I saw Tig come up over the rooftop and helped me get a tourniquet put on my arm. One of the other guys there helped walk me around to the front, took me inside, and we could treat the rest of the wounds that I had. When it was all said and done, from start to finish, when the last person got out of Benghazi, it was 13 hours. We came in with everybody, and we went out with everybody. Unfortunately, we lost Ambassador Stevens, Sean Smith, and Ty and Glenn, or Ronan Bub, is their call signs. You know, our guide was Rick Miner. I don't know, I think he's got legs that just go like crazy, because trying to keep up with him as we're climbing over these mountains was a little difficult. That or I'm just getting out of shape, I'm not sure which. I'm gonna go with it. He's a whole lot better and I'm just kind of slacking a little bit.
Looks like maybe some Boy Scout project. He did a pretty nice job of it.
Sure, let's spend the night here.
We had spent the entire day hiking and glassing and throwing off a bugle or two, and finally we got some responses way off in the distance. It took some time to get over there, but when we got there, man, did we find a herd.
Most of the cows seem to be going to the left, but he's pushing one back. It's too thick right there.
We were all four of us at a perfect spot if these elk were gonna work down into this meadow. But those bulls were just bugling and bugling up over the ridge. We decided to change up game plans.
Instead of coming up the valley, the wind is kind of not working in our favor, so we come around to the side. We're gonna come up over this ridge and see if we can get them while they're feeding up there on the other side. As we're starting to make our way up the backside of the ridge for our shooting position, we noticed there was probably 4 or 5 deer up there. Our biggest fear was now we're gonna spook them and they're gonna run into the herd, and then we're gonna lose a chance. So we kind of had to switch directions a little bit, slow it down, end up getting down and dirty on our bellies, crawling up the last 150 yards into our final firing position, come up over that top of the rise, and you could see 90 elk. They're coming in slow. They're on the lower end. Ready. I can't get him yet. Hold on. Back up, back up. Yeah, I've got him. Tree's right in the way though. Could just never get a good shot. They'd moved down out of sight. We were afraid of getting too far up and into a high kneeling position or standing position, because the other elk in the herd were still kind of watching that and looking at what was going on around them. And the last thing we wanted to do was make too much movement and spook them and then lose the whole herd going down the draw. These two elk, they were just sizing each other up. They'd come in and face off each other, drop their heads like they're getting ready to really do some damage to each other. And finally, they backed up a little bit, kind of was turning around and started bugling back at each other, and the bay bull stepped out between 2 trees. I got him. Hey, looks like we got a good 5x5. Took us a while. You know, they were back and forth. There was 2 of them down there fighting with this herd. You can still see the herd right there. If you're listening, you can hear the other bull. I don't think they figured out what's going on. You know, it's been 3 days. We've been chasing these herds up and down the mountains. Today, we kind of changed it up a little bit and decided let's just get on our feet and put some miles on these boots. And finally found them bed up here I got a few different rifles, but I'll tell you this, 265 grain 33 Nosler, you know, knocked them in the dirt. And it's got some power behind it, and it puts them down when you need to put them down. My little girl last night, she was missing Daddy. All the traveling, and I think sometimes I forget how hard it is on her. But I think she'll enjoy it when I get home and we're carving up a nice big elk steak together. She'll love that.
Yay!
Go check him out.
I'm so excited for you. He's a bruiser. He's a fighter, just like you. I love it.
You know, right where that bull dropped in his tracks, you know, one of the things I did first was I wanted to say a prayer over the bull. Lord, have given us the opportunity to harvest that animal, give us the environment that we harvested it in.
I'm so happy for you. It's been man, it's so funny that so many hunts go. You know, for 2 days, it's been pretty much a struggle laying eyes on brow tine bull. And
right.
Today, man, we were into them. Look at that herd. And it's still going on. There's late cows and estrus.
Oh, yeah.
Still chasing, bugling, fighting. We actually...
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. God bless, man.
Good
Thank
bull.
you. Yeah.
Beautiful bull. He's a bruiser. I love that he's a fighter, too.
Yeah.
Look at this gore in his face.
He's got broken tine, broke tine.
Thanks for asking me to be your guide.
Oh, Rick has been on some of my favorite moments in life. There's a lot of heroes that I believe need a lot more attention. You know, unfortunately, some of their stories get buried. And the more that we can share of your stories, the more it makes other people, you know, continue to share other family member stories. And that's what I think just helps patriotism grow and helps us all band together to keep our country stronger.
One of the stories I always share, a friend of mine, his name's John Wayne Walden. He was born on 4th of July and his parents named him John Wayne. Didn't have much to live up to, right? Lost his leg in Afghanistan, but the one thing he tells everyone, he says, live your life to make it worth it. Worth the sacrifice that everyone that has gone before us, all the veterans that have served in all the countless wars to make this country what it is. Our responsibility as citizens is to make their sacrifice worth it and live our lives that way. So that's kind of my thing every morning as I wake up, just trying to make the sacrifice of Ty and Glenn and everyone else that's gone before worth their sacrifice.
That's beautiful.
If you're looking for a fantastic elk hunt, check out the R&K Hunting Company. You will not be disappointed.
We could always do a snowball fight later, too. Rick and I against the Marines. Look out.